Tommy Super, Persuasive Speech. Let's face it, whether it's for social or insecurity reasons, kids can be mean. This is just a part of growing up. However, I think there's a lot we can do to prevent criticism among the youth. Cyberbullying in particular is a very popular outlet for criticism among kids today. And I'm sure as college students, a lot of you have witnessed cyberbullying in some way. It's clear then that cyberbullying is a very serious issue today on college campuses, causing psychological and social effects on its victims. And it is caused by the popularity of social media and a lack of enforcement. However, I think that this problem can be fixed with awareness and retreats. You may not know how prevalent this issue really is, but it really is very serious, and whether you realize it or not. And cyberbullying has a lot of serious negative effects. So, for those of you who don't really know the term, cyberbullying is really just a technical term for bullying through technology. There are many different forms of cyberbullying, all of which are harmful in their own ways. As this graph by Zachary Stiver says in 2012, it's showing the different forms of cyberbullying here, and as you can see, 94.2% of kids in the survey all agreed that cyberbullying is just really when one student bullies another over the internet. So there's a consensus there of what that means. And it's clear that cyberbullying has really had an enormous impact on students. And as the ISAFE Foundation shows, over one half of teens have been cyberbullied and more than one-third experience threats online. So this is clearly affecting a large percentage of college students in America today. And it has a lot of emotional and psychological side effects on its victims, including, as the Fund for Civility shows, it's including sadness and loneliness, sleeping and eating changes, loss of interest, and struggles in school. Cyberbullying is also connected to anxiety and depression. As Tiffany Rayford said in 2014 in her article, victims of cyberbullying are more likely than non-victims to experience anxiety and depression. It is also linked with suicide. As Justin W. Passion said in 2010 in his article, cyberbullying victims are 1.9 times more likely than non-victims to commit suicide. And as a graph by the Cyberbullying Research Center says in 2012, this demonstrates really just the different emotions that cyberbullied people often experience, including anger, frustration, sadness, embarrassment, and fear. However, to counter this point, over half of the victims did not feel anything when they were cyberbullied. But even still, the people that did were a high enough number that this is obviously still a big issue that we need to consider. But why is this form of bullying in particular so popular today? Well, in today's obsession with social media, it makes sense that this is so common. So the causes of cyberbullying are the popularity of social media and instantaneous communication, as well as the lack of enforcement. Jeff Bullis says in 2014 that over 1.15 billion, there are over 1.15 billion users on Facebook. And the Huffington Post talks about in 2010 how 99.8% of college students own cell phones. So clearly Facebook and cell phones are two of the leading outlets for cyberbulliers. And the College Explorer study from Refuel in 2014 talks about how laptops are the most commonly owned devices by college students. 85% of college students owning laptops, where smartphones are the second highest with college students, with 70% of college students owning smartphones. So these two are clearly the two biggest sources for cyberbulliers to offend their victims. There are also other social media outlets and sources for cyberbulliers. As you know, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Yik Yak. Right now, it's very popular and it's very prevalent in the cyberbullying world right now, as it allows people to anonymously post whatever they want, really. And as Nick Bilton said in March 2014, he quotes Susan Upperman, who says Yik Yak posts can be especially vicious and hurtful since there is no way to trace their source. The second cause of cyberbullying is the ability for the bulliers to hide behind technology. It's really easy for a cyberbullier to hide behind a computer or a phone because, it's not physical. As Kate Mulder says in 2010, quoting an assistant professor at TCU, she says, "It's easier to understand how to intervene when it's visible and physical bullying right in front of you. But it isn't always clear where that line is with cyberbullying." However, despite the prevalence of this devastating issue, I still think there's a lot we can do to work together at Wake Forest to solve this problem on a local level and perhaps work as an example for other colleges in the country. So what can we do to fix this issue? I think we can have awareness events and class retreats to help build a community at Wake Forest. So with raising awareness, I think with events on the quad, that show the information of cyberbullying effects and the counseling available at Wake Forest. We can help demonstrate the impact of cyberbullying. And these events can also foster new friendships and help people get a better understanding of the issue. As I said, these events can help people get an understanding of the counseling center, and that way, I think if victims go to these events, they might be more likely to utilize the counseling center. Another way we can solve this issue is by having class retreats. I think Wake Forest is small enough that we could have retreats and have outdoor pursuits and things like that, and have bonding activities, which would all encourage openness, honesty, and compassion among students. And by doing this, we could explore new friendships and work together as we combat cyberbullying. And I think at Wake, people are often stuck in their niches and organizations, and this would be a great way for people to branch out. And by doing so, we can help build a better sense of community throughout all of Wake Forest, and having fixed this issue at Wake, we can serve as a positive example for other colleges to follow the same path and help create a more peaceful college environment nationwide. But if you want to do this, people that are bullied need to speak up, you need to be supportive, and of course follow the golden rule.
Awesome.